Hey everyone, Jeremy here. It is Tuesday night and we're going to create some art. It's going to be awesome. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Tuesday night. We got a couple of people in the room already. Well, at least kids in the room. That's cool. That's enough for a party. Just need one person. That's great. So, what are we working on tonight? That's a great question. So, I did, I think it was last Friday. I did this like horse picture and I kind of like the style of it. I combined watercolor with pastels to create like what I thought was a pretty cool stylistic horse. So I kind of wanted to try that again and just kind of continue practicing that style. So if that's okay with you guys, that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to do an owl, just because like when I was practicing with coffee art, that's the order of things that I did. I did a horse, and then I did an owl, and then I think I did a deer or something like that. So I thought like an owl would look kind of cool for this. Um, but yeah, so I'm just going to jump right in. So like before, I kind of toyed with the idea of doing the watercolor side of it on camera, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I did kind of time it this time, and it did add an extra 10 minutes to the process just because you have to dry and all that stuff. So you have to put down the color. First off, you have to get your paper completely wet. This is kind of like wet on wet to kind of give it this cool blotty look. So I did that. I wetted down the entire paper, and then I kind of like just blotted in some areas of color and stuff. So that plus the applying clear gesso to kind of give it this sandiness to it. It took a while. It took like 10 minutes. So I could do that, but I would be taken away from like a time of like doing other things and stuff. Plus, I have to use kind of like a hair dryer to dry it and stuff. It kind of sucks. So anyway, long story short, I've got this going here, and we're gonna start working on it now. So hopefully that's cool. But yeah, it's gonna be like an owl. I don't know the type of owl it is, but yeah, it's kind of got like blue feathers and stuff, and it's got like yellow around its eyes. It's gonna be really cool, I think. So hopefully you guys like it when it's all said and done. You might notice that Rome Dog now has the blue and stuff. I was able to make some mods and stuff in case I ever get spammed again. But yeah, kid, I tried to make you a mod, but it wouldn't let me. I don't know what the deal was. I'll try again later, but I'll show you kind of what I saw when I went searching for your account. It just didn't come back with anything. So Hoolie's a mod, although she barely ever shows up. And then Rum Dog's a mod, and then that's probably enough. I mean, I've got the same controls over here. I can boot somebody if I need to, so it's fine. You guys probably catch something quicker than I would, but anyway, hopefully people just continue being nice. That's what most people do. So we're gonna get started with kind of like filling out where the head of the owl is and kind of get some form in here. Um, Whenever I do this watercolor bit, it's just to add like a little bit of visual interest. I don't, obviously I'm not going for like any kind of real definition there or anything like that. I just kind of want to get a little bit something in there, a little bit of color to work with. And then I really don't want to cover that up. So like if you remember the horse that I was working on, a lot of that watercolor still shows through. And I like that style. I like it a lot. So I'm going to kind of try to get in the eyes here real quick. So hopefully you guys had a pretty good weekend. Hopefully you guys are all refreshed. It sounds like kid, you got a lot of snow. So that sucks. I know how it feels. Yeah. Like today was pretty not terribly warm, but it was warmer and some of our snow started melting. The problem is the way my house sits is all the sun's on the back of the house. So on the front, all that water just kind of comes off the roof and just lands on my porch and ends up icing it up and stuff like that. So you have to be a little bit careful, but it's I think we're back to normal for the most part. I'm gonna kind of loosely get in. I just want to kind of figure out where the eye is. I'm not worried about getting this super worked out yet. Just when you come in over a sketch, you kind of lose some of those features, so you kind of have to gain them back. I think I'll go ahead and get some of the eye color in here real quick. But I do like the style. Hopefully you guys do as well. I know that for anybody new who hasn't seen how the horse turned out, I think it turned out really cool. And you know, part of this channel is about doing things the right way, and then part of it is like, oh, I just want to look cool, you know? Like, I'm all about, doing art the right way, learning skills, and kind of being academic about it and everything. But also, I just want things to look cool, you know? I look at other things that other people do, and it looks so cool, and I'm like, man, I just want to do that. Why can't I do that, you know? But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I've been checking out some other people's channels. Some of my subscribers are artists as well, and they have channels and stuff like that. So if they ever pop in here, if any of you guys are artists and you pop in here and stuff, you know, go ahead and say hi and stuff. I'll give you a shout out because I want people to go and visit your channels as well. You know, people did that for me when I was getting started. I mean, I'm still getting started. I don't have like a lot of I don't have a lot of traction on YouTube yet, but people gave me shout outs. I thought that was cool. Speaking of which, shout out to Sticky Art. He was a major guy that sent me people. That was pretty cool. Rome Dog, a couple of others. So always like to return the favor if I can. So especially young artists. So like if you're just getting started and stuff, I know how it is. It's kind of hard to get people to be interested. So if you guys want a shout out, just let me know. I'll give you one. Hey, Kevin's in the house. How's it going, man? I'm making another owl. I know you like the owls. I wanted to do one in a cool style. So I wanted to kind of mimic the style that I was doing with the horse I did the other day. Because I think that's kind of cool. Kind of the best of both worlds. So like it's kind of like my coffee art in terms of style, but then it's also like my pastel work in terms of color. I don't know. One of these days I'll pick a style and stick to it, but no, not today. Not today. I like to experiment too much. So we're really just kind of getting the color into the eyes. As Kid said, this is kind of like a Harry Potter type owl. I think the colors are accurate. Like I'm working off of a photo, and I don't think it was computer generated or anything like that. So I think this is actually how the owl, I mean, minus the style and stuff, but I think this is basically how the owl looks in real life. I keep saying aisle, like a grocery store aisle. Whatever. It's the bourbon. I like to blame the bourbon for everything. Truth is, I just can't talk. I actually had a speech impediment when I was a kid. I couldn't say the word bird. Every time I tried to say bird when I was a kid, I'm talking about like wee little Jeremy. I'm not like being a teenager or anything like that, but as a kid, I couldn't say the word bird. I would always say bird. Like I always put emphasis on the D. And it was, and then, like I kind of have a little bit of a lisp. That's a bit of a challenge too, but whatever. I stopped caring. What I sound like. I mean, it's not my problem. You guys have to listen to me. It's your problem. Like I can't change that talk. I hate my voice though. Like it's to me it sounds nasally and I can't say words and I have zero command of the English language. I mean, I think I have a good vocabulary, but then I come and like look up the word that I use and I'm like, oh, that is not what I meant. So anyway, I'm just joking mostly, but not about the speech impediment. I did have a speech impediment. I had to go to like speech classes and stuff like that. I think this was like, I don't know, like fourth grade or something, maybe even earlier. But all better now. I love drawing owls. They're so cool. They're like Forrest Gump with the emphasis on the last. Like, yeah, bird. It's Alabama. Sorry, you guys probably at home like, oh, it's really quiet. And I was like, Alabama. Sorry about that. Hey, Coopart. Yeah, so Coupart's. There you go. That's an example. So Coopart has his own channel. He's an aspiring artist, or she. I don't know which. But yeah, go and check out Coopart. Coupart's cool. Um, that's a good use of a mod there. Rome, if you ever want a link to one of these people's rooms or something like that, or even link to your own, feel free. I think you have to be like a mod to actually post a link in the chat. And obviously I'm a little busy, so I can't, but I do support sending people to other channels and stuff like that, you know. I mean, at this point, I'll promote anybody. I don't care. Like, somebody out there have art supplies, you want to send me some free art supplies, I'll promote you to my 5 subscribers. I don't know, there's 5 people in here right now. That's cool, you know. People watching. You guys just love owls. That's what it is. Quick FYI, no channel. I do have a site. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, you know, if somebody's got a website or something, like I said, I really don't care. I'm not trying to like, you know, I want to share the love. So like, if somebody's got a website they want me to check out or something like that, I'm happy to. Yeah, my sorry. I was gonna say my email address is on the about tab. I don't mind spam me. Yeah, I should say, and you know, those of you who have emailed me and stuff know this already. You know, I read your emails and stuff, and then sometimes I forget to reply. Like I just replied to a text message today that I got like a month ago and stuff. That's how it goes with me. I intend to reply, and then like I get busy or sidetracked or something. I am always fighting distractions in my world. So I'm working on something, I get pinged, I have to work on something else, jump into something because there's a, you know, got put out. I shouldn't say put out fires considering what's going on now, but metaphorically put out fires. Um, and you know, I get distracted, and then my dog distracts me or something, or like somebody taps me on the shoulder and distracts me. So I live in a world of constant distraction and stuff. So if I miss replying to your email, I do apologize. The thought is there, you know. I do read every single thing I get. I read every single comment I get. So like if anybody, oh hey Mama Q, how's it going? Yeah, like Hedwig, is it Hedwig? Yeah, I didn't know how to pronounce that. Yeah, I think he'll get there. Um, but yeah, so like I read every email I get sent. I read every comment I get. I appreciate that you guys engage in that way. It's just awesome. Um, you know, like I haven't gotten any criticism yet. Like I kind of thought I would. I'm trying to think what the worst comment is. Like I don't think anybody's ever said something sucks. Oh yeah, all right. Here's the worst comment that I can remember. I had posted. I drew a picture of Loki, and I didn't get the proportions right on the forehead, and I posted it to Reddit. Reddit's terrible. So like you think YouTube comments are pretty bad. You should go spend some time on Reddit. But yeah, I posted it on Reddit, and they were talking about how Loki's forehead was too large. Like not even Loki. Well, it was Loki, but it was the guy who played Tom Hiddleston. They were saying they were making fun of the ginormous forehead I give him, and I'm like, killed me because like they're right. You know, I gave him like a ginormous head, and completely by accident. I didn't mean to, but yeah, it's like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, and then I immediately took the picture down, and I think I threw it away. But that's how it goes, guys. We're sensitive, but I want that kind of feedback. You know, like good, bad, whatever. Sometimes people give me constructive feedback. You know, like actual tips on how to improve something. And that stuff is awesome because like it's most of the time, like sometimes it's things I have thought about and I'm just lazy. Like there's probably ways that I can improve this picture already and I'm just lazy and I you know, don't bother with it. But then sometimes, you know, these are things that I didn't know. So that's awesome. When somebody with more experience than I do or I have, you know, drops me a constructive criticism, that's cool. I love that kind of stuff. I think that's awesome. I appreciate it. I like to forward that kind of stuff towards others. So like when I learn something, I want other people to benefit from it as well. So I'll share maybe that tip or trick here. That kind of stuff's cool. You know, like other industries, like they're kind of cutthroat, right? So like I don't know, different other kind of like just jobs or whatever. There's this constant like competition or whatever. I don't find that in this world. I'm kind of new to this world. I'm kind of like a new artist, especially here on YouTube. Um, but yeah, I don't see it. I don't see people, being petty about that stuff. I mean, I see every now and then somebody will steal somebody's idea for art. I might do that myself. Like if I see something that I think is cool, I might just like straight up lift that idea from somebody else. But for the most part, people don't even do that. I think most people are just like kind of really cool about things. They're very supportive of each other, um, especially these young artists. So like I see these young artists and they're just like, they're into it and stuff. That's their jam. I think that's cool. Um, yeah, I kind of wish I had that growing up. Like I didn't really have that kind of social um, like net. Like I didn't hang out with other people. Like I've always drawn my entire life, like doodles and stuff like that. But I never really hung out with other artists. Um, even like even like art class and stuff, like in high school or whatever. I had friends in there and stuff like that, but they weren't artists. They were just taking it as an elective, as like an easy elective. Some of them are still friends to this day, like on Facebook and stuff. Shout out to Tracy and shout out to Lori if you guys check out the show. Well, I know Tracy's been in here, um, but yeah, that's kind of cool. But they're not artists. They just took that class because it was there. So I don't really have any like art friends. So I think it's kind of cool. So like you know nowadays there's that whole social network, I guess, of YouTube. There wasn't that in my day. If you wanted to hang out with other artists, it was tough. It's like going and finding them and wherever they were and stuff like that. I don't even know if like that was a thing back then. I don't think it was. Certainly wasn't anything I was aware of. Hey, we got little Larry's in the house. How's it down there in Florida? I bet you it's warm. Yeah, it is hella cool that we get to hang out across the world drawing. Thanks, Rum Dog. I agree. I think that's awesome. So I kind of want all the details in the face to really stand out. Like with the horse picture, I really focused a lot on details in the facial area. And then as you kind of move out away from it, I want to leave the abstraction of the watercolor and stuff like that. But I really don't want to overshadow the watercolor either. I want to kind of let each medium kind of like it is a mixed medium piece. There's no getting around that, but I kind of want each thing to kind of like shine on its own, if that makes sense. So I want the pastel to be pastel, and I want the watercolor to be watercolor, and I don't want to cover up like some of these drip effects. Those are cool, if not cliche. I'm gonna leave that in there, and then just kind of find my way around the picture, see what I want to put in, what I want to take away. I don't know, like a lot of these pictures, or at least the way I do them. I don't know. There's like people who are like perfectionists, and they come in and they like every single mark that they make is pre-planned, and they know exactly what they're doing. That is not me. uh, I just kind of feel my way around the picture, and I'm like, that doesn't look right. Let me kind of work on that a little bit. Like here, I wasn't happy with this forehead. Kind of wanted to work on that a bit, and then just kind of carve it out. I love working with pastels. I like using the edge of the pastel to create my marks. It's kind of cool. I mentioned before, but I haven't mentioned. Well, if I don't dump my stuff, I mentioned it before, but I haven't mentioned it in a while. So forgive me if I repeat myself every now and then. I probably will a lot, but um, what I like about pastel is it feels very like natural. Like you can Especially so like charcoal, it feels like you can just take it right out of a campfire and then start drawing with it. I feel like the same way with charcoal or pastel. Pastel feels like you can pick up a lump of clay that has a little bit of color to it and just start drawing on like a cave wall or something like that. So to me, that kind of stuff's pretty cool. Um, that whole natural aspect to it. I know I'm focusing on this face a lot, but that's kind of how the process works. Can't speed up good art. Well, you can. That's literally what my never mind. You can totally speed up good art. That's what my time lapses are. That's funny. Oh, yeah. Say something, I have to immediately retract it because I'm dumb. I love the markings on just birds in general, but specifically like these owls where they have like almost like a radar dish for the eyes. And it's kind of fun because like the eyes do act kind of like a radar dish for them. I mean, they can like pick out my understanding at least. I'm not. I mean, I watch like the same documentaries you guys do and stuff on like Discovery or whatever. But my understanding is that these guys can pick out like a field mice like a mile away or something like that. You know, which I think that's pretty amazing. So they've got these like radar dish type eyes. I don't know how much of the actual structure of these things contribute to that, but it's still kind of fascinating. Hey Tom, how's it going? Those eyes look great. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think they're coming together. It's kind of building out from them. I feel like it was easier with the coffee paintings because it was all monotone, you know. That's the other thing I'm trying to get over is my fear of color. I don't really have a fear of color per se, but I do like to think of it that way because it feels that way, you know. It's like I do a lot of monotone pictures just because I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm picking the right colors. I don't know if this is matching reality, things like that. To be honest with you, how you get over that kind of fear of color is that like if you know what colors work well together, and there's like whole color theory things, I'm not going to get into it. I don't understand it all myself. I just know that the basics of it. So like if you know that blue and orange generally work well together, um, you don't have to put a lot of thought into color because like you know this bird is out in nature, right? So like it could be on an overcast day, it could be like you know rainy out, it could be close to night. You have all these different natural conditions this bird might be in. So like for you to sweat about like whether you got the perfect shade of orange or the perfect shade of blue up in here, don't stress it. I don't. You know, as long as you kind of have something that looks like an owl, you're done. You're fine. You're good. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect because nature isn't perfect. This owl will look different in different lighting and stuff like that. Now, if you're a master or something like that, you might be looking for like a particular vibe or something. You might be looking for an owl in wintertime or an owl in summertime, and really trying to like emphasize color from that standpoint. But if you're like a new artist, like you're just getting your feet wet, like I am, don't stress it. I don't stress it. Um, I think maybe someday I might go chromophobia. I like it. There you go. Is that a real thing? That sounds like a real thing. Um, but yeah, that's how I feel. Chromophobia. I like it. Um, I think it's the fear of doing the wrong thing. Picking the wrong colors and so on. It's not like I'm afraid of color. It's not like was it Wednesday Adams? She hates color, right? So like she only likes black and white. Um, it's not that bad. But it's fear of making mistakes. That's what it is, which probably has a less scientific name for it. We all suffer from it, but I don't think you can really make mistakes per se unless you're trying for something specific. Like if you're shooting for like a particular vibe or something like that. That's where color theory really probably will help you out. But that's something for later days. You worry about that when you got a little bit of experience under your belt, which I really don't. So for me, as long as something looks halfway decent on YouTube, my job's done. I don't sell these pictures. I don't, I haven't done a show. I don't have a website that I put these up on or anything like that. For me, these are just a collection of pretty pictures, And if they look good on YouTube, I'm happy. Um, every now and then I get somebody who has like a specific request, and then I have to care a little bit more because then it's not just for me. But that's not this. This is hey, I want to make a cool picture, and I want it to look awesome on YouTube, so that people like say that looks awesome. That they they talk about how people just do things for likes and stuff like that. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just doing an owl because I like it. I think it looks cool. Rum Dog says, I like drawing at sunset. You get a different light palette. Yeah, so I mean that is true. So like different artists and stuff, they care a lot more about the light than maybe I'm letting on, and I care about it maybe more than I'm letting on, as well. But the truth of it is, it's like I'm not going to sweat it too bad if I use the wrong color or something like that. Uh, there's been times like you can see on, well, you can't really see it. It's tough to see it, but there are times when I particularly on purpose use the wrong colors. So like I'll draw like a Skittles rainbow kind of horse, or you know draw a person with the wrong skin tone, or something like that, just to kind of show that you really don't have to worry too much about the color. As long as you have colors that work well together. This could be a pink owl. Some people might be like, oh, that looks weird and stuff like that, but you'd be surprised at how few people would. If this was a rainbow colored owl, people would be like, oh, that looks awesome. Like I am constantly doing rainbow colored cats just because I love doing it. What I like to do with these pastels, I like to put some down and then kind of blend it out, and then kind of go from there and decide, well, do I want to kind of put that detail back in, or am I good with it blended? Basically, when you blend it in, it becomes soft, and you don't always want it to be soft. You want like your details and stuff to kind of stand out above it. That's the drawing side of it. That I call these things drawings instead of paintings or whatever. But you can go back and forth. You know, like this looks pretty soft here, but then I can come back over it, and there's like a little bit of orange on the tips here, so I can come back and I can add that in without blending it out, and that kind of gives it. I know it's kind of blurry on the screen just because I'm like my resolution sucks, but you can do that kind of stuff where you got softness and then you have details that are like a little bit more um, not blurred above it. Like I do, like I talk about this a lot actually, because it is part of my technique. I do shoot for, you know, the bottom layers to be like super soft, almost like, you know, like out of focus camera or something like that. Rumdog says my color ones are top shelf. Thanks, I appreciate that. That's awesome. That's a great compliment. Um, so yeah, like I like my lower layers to be like super soft and stuff, so that when I do come over it with like, just like a little mark or something like that, it kind of stands out. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's the goal. So I'm okay with that side of this little dude. I think I need to focus on this side a little bit more. Sorry, my nose has been running all day, so like hopefully this doesn't gross you guys out. Sorry. I don't think I have a cold. It's just, sometimes my nose leaks. That even happens during the summer. Like I get nosebleeds every now and then just because like I'm a big nerd and nerds get nosebleeds, I guess. I don't know. Probably something I should get checked out. Let's see. So one of the cool things about adding the watercolor as a base and stuff, when you come back over it with this white, the white really stands out. So like the white stands out on the watercolor behind it. So even though the paper's white, you can still add these like little white layers and stuff, which I think is cool. All right, that's pretty cool. Um, his face isn't perfectly smooth up in here, so you have to add some touches of leaf, not leaf, feathers. He's not a plant. Um, yeah, I was talking with somebody. Who was I talking with? Oh, I was talking with like a Discord group the other day about bonsai trees. Like, oh man, I love bonsai trees. In fact, I went to school for tree care and land management because I always thought I would uh, I would do bonsai trees. That's the art that I was going to do. I was gonna make tree art and stuff. Like, if you don't know what bonsai is, that's stuff where they like make leaves and, well, it's miniature trees, so they prune them heavily, and then they also shape them into different forms and stuff. So like think Karate Kid with Mr. Miyagi and all that stuff. But anyway, that's what I was going to do. I was like really into bonsai trees. And, the more I got older and stuff, I really kind of doubled down on it. And the older I get, the more I think about it. It's like, what I love about that stuff is they're so old. Yeah, Geppetto is a traffic cop tonight. He's like, oh. um, but yeah, bonsai trees, like there are ones that last for like 1,000 years. I think that's like the oldest one or something like that. But 400 years is not that atypical. There's one at the National Arboretum. I don't know how to pronounce that. The National Plant Place in Washington D.C. Um, and that is 400 years old. It was a gift from um, I don't think it was the Japanese government, but I think it was the actual bonsai artist. It was a gift to the United States for our bicentennial, like our 200-year anniversary back in the 70s. And it was kind of neat. As it turns out, that tree was actually growing, like a mile away from the Hiroshima bombing, which symbolically is a big deal for that to be gifted to the United States. But there's like all that history wrapped up in that 400-year-old tree. And I haven't seen it. Like, I want to go back to Washington, D.C. now just to see it because, like, I've been out there a couple of times. But to me, that kind of stuff is fascinating. So, like, I don't know how I got on the topic of bonsai here, but that is the kind of art that I would love to create. But it takes a lot of responsibility. You think raising kids is a lot of responsibility. Try taking care of a plant that you really want to like outlive you. And that's kind of what my point was. I think it's kind of cool to create art that is purposefully meant to outlive you. Like this is not going to out. Well, I don't know. This picture might because it's all archival material, but it's not really intended to outlive me. If I started a bonsai plant, I want that plant to last 400 years, right? That I'm not going to be around in 400 years. So that kind of stuff, I think is just fascinating. When you create art that is purposely designed to stand the test of time. That's what the conversation was about. That's what I was talking about when I was talking about with bonsai. Something that would stand the test of time. I just love thinking about that. Most people don't think about that. Most people think, like somebody said, I forget who brought it up or whatever, but people are kind of designed, or at least nowadays, people are designed to think maybe 5, 10, maybe 20 years down the road. If you have children, you may be thinking of their lifetime as well, but most people don't think past their own lifetime. But I guess if you have kids or something, you might think about your kids, but you're probably not thinking about your grandkids. Or if you think about your grandkids, you're not thinking about your great grandkids. Or if you're thinking about your great grandkids, you're not thinking about whatever generation is after that. People don't have this long term thinking anymore. Everybody thinks the world's going to end. Maybe not tomorrow, but they think like, no, the world's not going to be around in 100 years. It's kind of weird because like, the world has been around for like a couple of thousand years, a couple of millennium, millions of years if you want to go back that far. But we don't ever think that way, right? And we certainly don't ever think that way with things that we leave behind, like our art, right? So imagine Leonardo da Vinci, who lived like what 500 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. Imagine Leonardo da Vinci just like, well, I just got to get this picture done, and then I don't care, and like I will never care about what happens to it after I'm gone, right? So imagine Leonardo da Vinci not having that sort of long term thinking, and he really didn't actually. there's been documentaries about how he used these experimental styles that did not last the test of time. So like there's frescoes that have to be rebuilt, just because like the techniques that he used were not like long term or whatever. But yeah, it's kind of weird, It's kind of weird to create something that you really do want to keep around forever. And then, by the same token and stuff, I find it extremely fascinating to create temporary art, things that aren't meant to last more than a day. It's like a mayfly or something like that. It just comes into existence, lives for a day, and then disappears. Um, that's that kind of stuff I think is fun. I don't recommend people going out there and doing like a bunch of graffiti, but I personally appreciate graffiti for that very reason. Um, I love temporary art, like sidewalk chalk, um, like my wood burning pictures that I put out in the middle of the woods and stuff like that. I don't know what's ever going to happen to those. To me, it's temporary. I create it and then it's gone. I don't know how I got on this topic, but I think that's interesting. But yeah, it's kind of fascinating to think about long-term thinking, which nobody ever does, and that's kind of sad because like, we do kind of want the world to continue on. We just don't think it's gonna. Um, most of our plans are like, well, we're gonna hop on a spaceship and just leave this planet. It's like, well, that's probably not what we should be doing. We should be thinking about, 5, 10, 15,000 years down the road, which none of us do. That's a responsible thing to do. But then it's also kind of fascinating the impermanence of things and just acknowledging that and realizing that nothing does last forever. So why don't you create something intentionally that isn't? You know, like I think it would be awesome if I like. So most people want to like leave a legacy, right? So they want that monument and stuff built to their to themselves. I think that's cool. But then also I think it'd be just as cool to like leave nothing, right? So like I don't want to leave anything behind. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know which one I prefer. Go back and forth on those. Hey, because I can. That armadillo looks amazing. Yeah, I know. Like I'm really getting better at drawing armadillos. The horse one, or the one that looked like a horse and stuff. I mean, it was an unsuccessful armadillo as well. Those are always fun. All right, so yeah, we're getting a pace in here. That's kind of cool. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're okay. I always have to make sure I leave myself time because, especially like when I get on a conversation, I forget what I'm doing, which is like always, um, just so that I don't shoot myself in the foot. It is very so like those of you guys out there that do create art just to create art, or maybe you do it for like a job or something like that, but you don't do it on YouTube is what I'm getting at. It is a different experience to do it online in a time slot, like where you're trying to get it done in a certain amount of time just so that like the people can watch with you. The Bob Ross kind of thing. It's it's a bit of a challenge. I don't know if it's too much of a challenge. It's just kind of a thing, an interesting thing that I never thought about previously. This guy's looking cute. I like him. I want to buy a hedgehog. Like, I really want a hedgehog. I don't know why, but they're so cute. I've been thinking about them lately. Like, I wanted a bird for so long, but like got this bird feeder out in the yard that I can see birds anytime I want. So I'm kind of over that. That was my thing before. Um, but now I kind of I want a hedgehog. They're so cute. They roll up in those little balls. I'd be the guy who would be like dressing them up like with a little top hat and stuff. I think that would be a lot of fun. So I'm using like a little thing here where I'm trying to get these like little soft colors in. So I want some orange up in these feathers, but I don't really want to draw them in. I just kind of want a little bit of soft orange up in here, blended in with those blues. So I'm just kind of dragging that off of the end of this pastel. And I think that works. So again, these bottom layers and stuff, yeah, I would do it with my finger, but my finger's a little too fat for this area. The these bottom layers are meant to be super soft, so that when you draw things over it, um, they kind of stand out. That's the technique I do. It's probably a version of what everybody else does as well. But yeah, you get all this kind of muddied in here, and then you can kind of come back over it and get some detail in. So like same kind of orange colors up in here. Hedgehogs are illegal to own in Georgia. That is surprising. I didn't know that. Is there a reason why? Like, what's the deal there? Um, I don't think they're illegal here because I saw one in like a proper pet store. It wasn't in like some guy's trunk of his car or something, selling it out of the back of his trunk. Uh, there's a pet store nearby, and they have them there. So I don't think it's illegal here. I had no idea that it was illegal in some places. They're not endangered or anything, are they? Because if they are, then I definitely want to get one before they're all gone. That's probably a bad joke. That's an awesome joke, Jeremy. Lean into it. You get animal rights activists in here and stuff saying, Jeremy, that was a bad joke. Take it back. All right, I'm sorry. I take it back. I love animals. I love hedgehogs. I would take care of that hedgehog. It would be awesome. Yeah, that's super surprising to me that those guys are illegal. Also, how do you know that? That's good. That's cool. Did you want one or something? Did you try to get a hedgehog and then somebody told you they were illegal and you're like, oh shucks. That'd be cool. Only illegal if you get caught. Yeah, I mean, you get caught, you just move to a different state, right? I would do that for my pets. Like if it was illegal to own my dogs and I got caught owning a dog, yeah. I mean, I was also thinking about getting chickens for the backyard. I think that those are illegal here. I don't. I'm pretty sure in Kentucky there's some law or statute on how many chickens you can have and where you can have them. That just feels like that's definitely going to be a thing. Because you hear about like weird laws that are still on the books after like 100 years or something like that. That's probably one of them. Like you can only have three chickens, two in your bathtub, the rest. And I don't know where I was going with that. Like, but you can't have that many chickens. I feel like every kind of rural area has a chicken law. Anyway, I just want to get some of these warm colors in here to kind of like, vibe with that cool color of the blues. I'll come back and worry about what these things look like later. There's some details down in here and stuff that I need to remember to kind of get some darker shade down in here. Just because this is where it kind of comes together and then you kind of like have your claws, paws, talons, whatever they're called. They're illegal in all states except Georgia, Hawaii. Oh, they are legal, not illegal. Sorry. They are legal in all states except Georgia, Hawaii, California, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., and the boroughs of North Carolina, sorry, New York. Jeez, I can't talk tonight. Because they are wild, non-native species. Oh, they're worried about them like taking over. I gotcha. I'm sure that makes sense to some conservationists, like somebody who knows more than me. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because like it's not like you would have them running around in the wild. Um, it's not like the alligator that somebody flushes down the toilet. Hedgehogs and stuff are going to be caged. They're not going to be running around or whatever. So it doesn't make that much sense, but I guess they probably know a little bit more than me about that. I'm not going to beat them up over it. It's just sometimes laws are like completely silly. That probably has a reason for it, but it does seem kind of completely silly. We had friends that had one. They moved here from Florida, and they had to go back to Florida for vet visits. Oh, okay. So they kept it, but they had to go back to Florida because they didn't want people to know they had it. That makes sense. That's cool. That's responsible parenting. I like it. Usually, you have to check town rules for chickens. Yeah, I know that like if I ever actually got chickens and stuff, I would have to do that. But I can kind of guess ahead and realize that yeah, because I kind of live in like a suburb. It's not like I live out in the like farm town. Like if I was outside of the city limits or something, I would expect that maybe I can just do whatever I want because like America. But nah, in the suburb, there's probably like some city ordinance or something like that preventing me from my God-given right to have a chicken in my yard. I don't know why I want chickens. I just like I just like animals and like a chicken is like chickens are cool because like I don't know like I don't know how much of their personality is like this bird here I believe has like a personality, like they have a thought process, they go about their world methodically and think about things that they're doing. Like when this bird finds a like a mouse in a field or something like that, it's zeroed in, it's got a thought process there and stuff. I don't think chickens think. Like I have seen some chickens in my day and I don't think that there's you know a chicken brain is like a joke for a reason, because like I don't know, they're silly animals is what I'm getting at. I don't think they put any thought into anything that they do. Yeah, America, chickens. This is America. I'm supposed to have chicken. No offense to you other countries out there. I know that I do have an international audience. You guys pop in every now and then. Here in America, we're supposed to have some chicken. I don't know why that's not. Anyway, I would like a chicken. That would be fun. I love chickens. They're adorable. I don't think that they have a brain. Chickens do not have a brain. I think they run on autopilot or something like insects. I don't believe insects really think about what they're doing. I think there's some sort of instinctual thing, some biochemical process. Now, granted, I am not that kind of a scientist. I like science, but I am not qualified to make these things. These kind of pronouncements. I'm just talking about how things look to me, right? So to me, it looks like insects do not have any kind of brain activity or anything like that. They're on autopilot. They're following biochemical signals or something like that. Real basic stuff. I don't know. I feel like chickens are right there with them. You go up to Hawaii, they are running around everywhere. It's pretty cute. Oh, chickens running around Hawaii? That'd be cool. Or are we still talking about like the hedgehogs? Because that would be awesome. I would love to see a bunch of like hedgehogs running around. Okay, I gotta get some detailed stuff. I gotta be a little bit careful up in here because these feathers here, they're kind of in some layers where it's kind of like just stacked up and stuff, and they almost look like gills. I haven't drawn a fish. I need to draw a fish, but I'm just mentioning that because these these feathers through here kind of feel like gills, even though they're not. They're just stacked that way. So I need to be careful putting them in. And the way you get around that is that you put these in lightly, and then you kind of come back over them with other things. So like I'll put a white highlight on these things just to make them stand out more. But do have to kind of get this darker area in here. I love my neighbor's chickens. Little dinosaurs are hilarious and brutal. Saw one take down a mouse. Wow. Yeah, like my parents had chickens way back in the day and stuff when I was a little kid and stuff. That's why I like them. I think they're fun animals. I think I talked about like how I hypnotized a chicken one time. That's why I don't think they have any brains. You can hypnotize a chicken easily. Anybody can do it. You just like set them down on their side and you kind of like draw a line out from their eyes and they kind of become fixated on it and they become like a in a trance. Owls love chickens. That's funny that we're talking about it. This owl's like drooling while we're talking about chickens. That's great. Yeah, this owl's like, yeah, I know you guys are talking about chickens. You're making me hungry here. What is it? So I don't know. You guys are smarter than I am. Maybe you guys can tell me. Somebody out there knows. You ever watch I think it's Looney Tunes with Foghorn Leghorn, and he had that little chicken hawk with him. I had a friend whose nickname was Chicken Hawk, and I've always wondered. I don't know what a chicken hawk is. Like, what is a chicken hawk? Is it a hawk? Is it kind of chicken? I don't know, but like maybe somebody out there can educate me on that. I have no idea what a chicken hawk is. And specifically, I'm talking about the one from the Looney Tunes Foghorn Leghorn kind of thing because like I remember that growing up, and I had no idea what they were talking about. This is like a little scrapper dude. Um, I don't know, but you guys are smarter than me, and somebody out there knows. Somebody out there knows what a chicken hawk is. Have you seen the little 3D printable dino arms for chickens? That's amazing. No, I have not. That sounds incredible though. Like I feel like I'm missing out on something there. That sounds great. Okay. So I got that in there. I want to see if I can get these other things in there. All right. So I got my dark blue. I want to get like little spots almost. Some of the stuff I wish I had gotten with the watercolor. But he's got these like little spots through here. I don't know. Are these things called the spotted owls and stuff? I feel like that would. I feel like there's a thing called spotted owls, and this might be it. I don't know. They got these like little spots right here and stuff. So you got brown up in there. You got these like little blue spots. Here, you got some heavy blue. And draw that in. His name was Henry Hawk. Were we talking about the chicken hawk guy? Yeah, he was like, I don't know. I feel like Foghorn Leghorn was like, get away, boy, you're bothering me. I don't know if that was about the chicken hawk or not. I don't know. I get memories mixed up sometimes. Like I have a lot of like pop culture running around in my head, so like I don't remember anything specifically. It's just that's in my head, like Foghorn Leghorn talking like, "Get away, boy! You're bothering me." I don't know. That's a lost show. They need to reboot that, and bring that back. We live in a different world. Like people wouldn't relate to it. I don't think. Blend some of that out. That's looking cool. All right. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna look right. Let me try it. Get all this stuff kind of in here. I don't know if I can pull off the level of detail that this needs, but I'm gonna try with like single little marks. Eh, it's going to be okay, I think, but not precisely what I'm looking for. Maybe I can just kind of dot that in there. This would work a lot better if it was a bigger picture. Just kind of want to get the layers of the fur in there. Maybe I'll come back with a gel pen later and just kind of like emphasize that a little bit more. Yeah, I'll worry about that later. Not that concerned right now. I do kind of want to get some highlights up in here. This is something that I think, a pastel pencil would work really well because you can get that fine detail in there. But for some reason, whenever I try to use a pastel pencil, it's not that opaque. So it doesn't work very well for these type features, which kind of bums me out because that's what the pencils are supposed to be for. It's one of the things that I like about colored pencils versus pastel pencils and pastels and stuff. Now, there's no reason why I can't do all of that together. In fact, I might have a white pencil around here somewhere to do those things. Like, there's no reason why I can't come back over it with the colored pencil because that's wax. That wax would more Foghorn voice. Get away, boy! You're bothering me. You know, Kevin, you might know. I don't know. Like so most of you guys know. I had a cartoon character that I was doing for a while on YouTube by the name of Leroy, and I did a nice little redneck voice for him. It's been a while since I touched that character, but yeah, that was fun. I should do like a video on how to create like animated characters and stuff for but that's all digital art. I've been really trying to focus on um you know, like traditional art on this channel. But yeah. Yeah, I do digital art as well. Occasionally. All right, so I'll come back to that. I feel like I need to move on to some of these other areas. We're already an hour into this. I'll come back and mess with some of this stuff like a little bit later on. But yeah, more popcorn voice. That was a great show. I do. You know, everybody knows Looney Tunes. It was a classic back in the day. Um, that was like, you know, the golden age of animation, where you know you probably couldn't get away with some of that stuff nowadays. Like those were like some violent stuff. Like the Simpsons parody did well with Itchy and Scratchy and stuff, and kind of made fun of it. I don't think you could get away with doing a cartoon like that anymore. Well, I don't know. That's not true. Not a kid's cartoon. You have obviously you have like Rick and Morty and you know adult cartoons and stuff that are actually very violent. And when it comes to anime, like a lot of that is kind of the point. I do love a lot of that stuff. I like watching animated cartoons on you know various channels and stuff like that. Like last summer, I think it was last summer, Blue Eye Samurai. That's amazing. That was Blue Eye Samurai is just an excellent story, excellent animation, excellent artwork. Um, there is there's like nothing bad to be said about Blue Eye Samurai except that it's over. You know, like you have to wait for a season two. That's what sucks. Do a special stream on digital. Yeah, I could probably do that. You know, like I kind of struggle with thinking about like, well, you know, like what is off brand and what is not. Like, you know, there's a lot of different things I do. Like I do graphic arts. Like I have not in this room, but I can bring it. Like I have a wine can that I recently designed that I think it looks really cool. I'd love to show that off, but that's not traditional art. You know, I don't know if like the audience would care. That's all digital. That's all done on a computer. I do like logos sometimes for people. Um, Notice how like I put down a mark and then I immediately blend it out because I want these layers to be like super soft. But yeah, yeah, I do a lot of that stuff. I do a lot of that digital art and stuff. But then also I kind of you know like I don't want to downplay anybody else's art, right? So like if you do digital art, that's your thing, right? Like I am not saying that your digital art is evil or anything like that, but also it's kind of evil. Um, I think that I think something is lost with digital art. You know, some certainly stuff is lost with AI, and it's not like I think there's not like a place for that kind of stuff in the world, but and it is art. Okay, don't get me wrong, it is creativity, not the AI crap, but you know, digital art is art. I'm not saying that it isn't. The same level of creativity goes into it. You just have different tools and stuff, but something is lost in you know that non-tactile way of doing art. And I get it. I know that it's so much easier, it's so much quicker, it's so much cheaper. You don't have to worry about buying art supplies and stuff like that. But then, like, I don't know. If you don't actually have these skills as well, something's lost there. I think. You know, like I'm not gonna preach about it or anything like that, but I do think that something's lost. I like that I can go out in the woods with a pen and paper and draw a picture. You can't, you know, because your battery died. Uh, like that to me matters. I think that to me influences my art at least. I'm not judging your art. Your art is your art, and there's amazing stuff done and better than my stuff done in digital. Like there's some awesome stuff out there done through that. I'm not diminishing that at all. I'm just saying it's not for me. It's not for me at all. So you guys do you. I'll do me. We'll meet somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle. There's for a Christmas gift, my son gave me an AI song you made for me. It was a very special gift. There you go. See, there is a place for all of this stuff. Like, and I think that matters. Like it's there's got to be a human quality to it. Is all I'm saying. So like, if your son made an AI song, like if you use AI as a tool to create art and stuff like that, you're still creating art. That's all good. I personally, I'm just sticking with the my hands are getting dirty kind of thing for a while, and I realize that makes me a dinosaur. It is what it is, but I enjoy it. It's where I'm at in my process. I do create digital art, so it's like I don't want to be a hypocrite and say that you shouldn't. Um, Sometimes I use AI art when I'm like in a hurry to like come up with an idea or something like that. There's a place for all of this stuff, but I like getting my hands dirty. That's where I'm at. And it's going to be something that people are kind of like going back and forth on for a while. Um, I'm also like, I don't know, I'm also kind of like a real classic kind of person. I like classic music. I like that's not the color I'm looking for. Let me go with this. I like you know I like vanilla. That's embarrassing. I like vanilla because it's like it's pure. It is something that I can reach for, and I know that you know not that complicated. I don't have to think about it too much. Uh, I know I'm gonna like it. Yeah, and vanilla's good. I like vanilla. It was very personalized, and don't laugh, but it made me cry. Oh, I'm not gonna laugh. I actually think that's very cool. Um, there are there is a lot of there's a lot of digital stuff that carries the same emotional weight as anything else. I remember before I realized you couldn't do it, like when I was younger, I was wanting to create a Wikipedia page for my dad just to kind of show him that I appreciate him. And then I realized that you're not allowed to do that. But I thought that would have been cool. I thought he would have appreciated that as a gift. Um, yeah, I think that's awesome, Lorraine. Seriously. Sarah says, and baking vanilla is a base flavor for lots of things. There you go. There you go. But, sympathy for vanilla is all I'm saying. Yeah. What I don't like about AI stuff is, like when it comes to art, at least AI, other artists and stuff have covered this way more eloquently than I will. I'm just drawing a picture here, but you know, the base for the AI art, that's all other people's work and stuff. And then like you punch in a few numbers or like a few commands or something, and out pops this new thing. It's not something that it's not something that the computer created, really. It's not new art. It's just like a copy, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to explain. You guys know what I'm talking about. I like getting my hands dirty. That's all I'm saying. Like get my hands dirty. I do. Honestly, that is the aspect that I like about it. I like that I can reach into a campfire, pull out a charcoal stick, and draw something. And I think something is lost if you can't do that. Not saying you can't do other amazing things. I'm just saying, like, if you can't do that, give it a shot for your own sake. Not for me. I don't care. But yeah, I love vanilla. Vanilla's great. Hey MJ, how's it going? But for you, Lorraine, I mean, that's amazing. I love that. I love that story. That he created that and stuff, and that you appreciated it so much. And I think that works for like AI art too, because like like you go off and create like you can trade like secrets and stuff like that. But you can take an AI prompt and put your own dog picture in there and have a very cool stylized picture of your dog and stuff. That's personalized. That's really sweet. Like if somebody gave that to somebody else as a gift and everything like that, um, you know, there's nothing wrong, nothing bad about that at all. And there's just going to be more of that in the future. That's all. A lot more because the the tools are being built is what I'm getting at. It's just going to be a thing. So is this looking like Hedwig? Or I don't know. Like you guys let me know. Hey Willie, how's it going? Cool Al, thanks. Appreciate it. Anyway, long story short, I have this thing where I do digital art, but I'm not sure if that's really what I want to focus on. You know, for me. I mean, I do it because I have to. It's like, sometimes I get that kind of requests and stuff in my day work, which is building websites and apps and things like that. That's my that's my life. So sometimes you get a client that wants to build a website or something, but they don't have a logo, or they have a crappy logo. That happens a lot, or logos that really don't work for them. So like a lot of people don't ever think about like the difference between like vector and roster graphics. So like if you don't have like a vector piece of art, you can't really scale it up. So you can't really like you can put it on a business card or something like that, but you couldn't put it on like the side of a bus, or you can't you know put it on the side of a building or something like that. So really your logo needs to be like vector art. Some people don't realize that. When it comes to vector art, it has to be done on a computer. There's no like I couldn't take this owl here and turn it into a logo. Like it would have to be vectorized. So you know, there's a the proper tool for every task, guys. It's nice to have a bunch of them in your tool belt. And mostly just saying for these kids out there, sometimes kids watch my channel. Give traditional art a shot as well. Get your hands dirty. Don't just use your laptop because you have one, or iPad or whatever. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Oh, MJ hurt her back. Oh no. Hope you feel better. An AI song, that would actually be cool. Now that I'm thinking about it, like I would love to get one of those myself. Like, I don't know. Like, I can see that actually being very, very cool. I don't know a lot about like making music, so to me that would actually be something that I would like to try. Especially if you get like options and stuff. Like you get to put in um some example lyrics for it to work off of, or something like that. I don't know how that would work. All right, so this is looking good. I want to get like this is dark enough. So I really love these pastels. They're so soft that you can kind of just come back over stuff that you've already done and just kind of like, and they're so opaque. Just kind of come back and put these marks over places that are already in here. Sorry, I get a little quiet whenever I'm trying to feel something out. I got to get these feathers looking realistic and stuff. I know that they're not like the main focal point and stuff, but they still need to work. And I kind of want it to be a little bit dark down through here, as if like, there's like layered feathers, but then I have to immediately blend it out because I don't want it to take away from the watercolor that's underneath it. So it's a bit of a challenge. Thinking things through. I have here, I think. See if I can kind of some of that softer. Actually, I'm gonna leave that mostly. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that actually mostly not blended so that actually I like that. Just kind of put in these. Sorry, sometimes I like back pain is the worst. Sorry, I suffer back pain and stuff like that. I'm always cracking my back. It sucks. So if that's what's going on for any of you guys in the chat, I feel bad for you guys. Back pain sucks. It only gets worse as you get older. I like this color. Sorry, I'm just dropping in this color wherever I can. I'm going to use this color actually to work on the talons. I just like the word talons. I don't want to get crazy with these. I kind of suck at doing feet, whether they're humans or animals or whatever. Like even like doing paws and stuff on dogs and stuff, even though I draw a lot of dogs. But I do kind of want to get these in here, you know, so that can they be in there. Draw some talons. You're gonna have to share that song with us now, Lorraine. If you got a song for Christmas and stuff like that, I'm super curious. Especially like I don't want to make fun of it, but like if it did make you cry and stuff, I want to hear what that sounds like. And that kind of stuff is cool. Did anybody get anything really super interesting for Christmas? Like I was just thinking about that. Like I don't think I ever asked you guys. Um, I didn't get anything super exciting for Christmas myself. I wasn't looking for anything super exciting. For me, I'm easy to please. Like if I get some art supplies or something like that, that's good enough for me. Um, a lot of times I'm like, well, this is something I can use. That'd be cool. So like I'm always looking for useful stuff. Yeah, hopefully you get better pretty quickly there, MJ. I know that kind of sucks. Get some alpaca wool socks and have come in handy. Nice. Those sound warm. Alpaca wool socks. Yeah, I would love to go to like places where alpacas live and stuff. Like what was that, South America or something? And go hiking and stuff where I'm like wearing a Sherpa or something made out of alpaca wool. But yeah, that sounds cool, man. It's hard to believe Christmas was like, I don't know, almost a month ago. Time is going by so quickly. I don't know if it's just me or if like anybody else is experiencing that. Maybe it's just because of my busy schedule already. Like something about the new year and stuff just makes everybody want something from you. I don't know. But it's been super busy for me. I kind of wondering if anybody else has like experienced that or if it's just like my issues. highlights in here. I wrapped all the boxes with about a half roll of electrical tape each. That's nice. You ever get a massage hit up the local jujitsu sensei? Seriously, half the arts is in dislocating joints. Oh, okay. So you're saying if you have like some pain or something, go and find a martial arts expert to help you with that because they suffer that a lot anyway. That makes sense. She spins says alpacas live all over the world now. Yes, they do. like Like, this is not an educational channel. Like, if you're tuning in here to find out where alpacas live in the world and stuff, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I'm here just to create drawings and stuff like that. So if you're looking for like factual information, like I don't even know what kind of like owl this is. Um, I think it's a horned owl, but I don't know. So like, I'm sorry guys, if you're looking for like an actual educational channel and stuff that'll point you in the right direction, that's not here. A snow owl, there you go. That sounds right. Yeah. I am sorry. I don't have these I don't have this good information and stuff that you guys probably need. But yes, alpacas are everywhere. Like I mean I see them all the time. Like any kind of show where they have kids and stuff and they need to bring out these animals and stuff for them to check out. But yeah, I think they have them here in Kentucky. Pretty sure. How are we doing on time here? We're doing okay. I think I'm getting pretty close to calling this done. There's probably some touch-ups and stuff anyway that I would be doing, but I like how this has turned out. I mean, it does have that the owl vibe to it, which I love. Owls are just cool creatures, you know. Have you ever seen one? So like, I need to draw one of them with their wings spread out and stuff. It's majestic, you know. Owls are beautiful creatures. Trying to get these like sharp marks in here so that yeah, it kind of looks like fluff. Good. Gotta get some rough areas in here just to get those highlights in there. Jeremy loved the colors. Thank you so much. Great horned owl, maybe. I don't know. The one I did before was a great horned owl. This one is these are semi-accurate colors from the reference picture. So I don't know. I don't know if like great horned owls come in different colors. Maybe. You guys tell me. I rely on you guys actually to like help me out here as far as like fact checking things. I need to get better at this because like I do a lot of wildlife pictures just because I love animals. It's so cool for me to do these things. Um, but yeah, I know shit about them. I don't know anything about these animals. Um, Pretty sure they eat mice. I don't know other little rodents or whatever out in the woods. But I don't know. Never seen one. It'd be awesome if I could like go out and see one of these out in the woods and just actually draw one from in person. So, you know, the goal here was to kind of like mimic the style of the horse picture that I did recently. I think that this is working for that. Kind of blend that out. All right, let's see. What are little things that I can pick up here before I call it? What are we doing on time? Yeah. So there's like little things that I would like to do before I call it a day. do some fixes up in here. So I know that like pastels isn't for everybody. In fact, like some people are just like actually really super turned off by them because of the powdery nature of it. Like sometimes people just can't. Oh, thanks, Lorraine. I appreciate that. Sometimes people just can't, like they physically can't touch like the powder of this and stuff. It kind of grosses them out. So it's not for everybody and stuff. But like, you know, you could still do some of these same things in colored pencils. I just use pastels because they're super easy to blend. They work really well. Um, you know, the way I use them and stuff like that. So I know it's not for everybody, but you can do similar things with colored pencils. The idea here is that you start with like watercolor just to kind of like quickly fill in the area, and then you know you come back with these other mediums and stuff to kind of like fill out detail. And you know that's what we were doing. I think it's been pretty successful. I'm pretty happy with it. Now I think, and I don't think I have a colored pencil handy. No, in fact, I do not. I think I will come back over some of this pastel with a colored pencil, just because you can get some more precision. I don't think I have one. Sorry, let me scroll my speech over here. Um, I do have one at the end here, so let me see if I do. And I want to kind of demonstrate what I'm talking about. Yeah, I've got one. Cool. Sorry. Improper preparedness. So let me get that out of the way. So this is wax based. So I should be able to go over. Yeah, and I am. It's semi-transparent, so it's not going to be perfect. But you can go over your pastel with a colored pencil. I know this isn't showing up very well, but you can come back in, and as long as you kind of clear it off, because like you know the pastel and stuff is kind of um, going to cling to it because it is wax based. You can kind of come back over and you can add like further detail. So you can, it's already mixed media anyway because you're dealing with um, watercolor and pastel and stuff. So you can further mix the media a little bit, I guess is what I'm getting at. So there's really no reason why. And you may ask, like, what does it matter? Why are you mixing all these medias, Jeremy? You can do this in colored pencil just as well. Yeah, it's true. But, you know, when you're doing like a YouTube show, for example, and you want to get this done in, you know, under 2 hours or like an hour and a half, which is usually what I'm averaging these days, um, it helps to have these like little quick tricks and stuff. So like you know you put in the watercolor and stuff in the background, and then you have that. And then you can kind of come in and go over it with the pastels. That's going to work a lot faster than the colored pencils. And then you come back with the colored pencils, and then you know it's a quick way of creating stuff that you can probably do in any of these mediums solely by themselves. And the whole reason why you're even like using pastels instead of like just doing it all in watercolor is that you get to draw, which I enjoy doing more than paint. Like technically you could still do it. They got these like little lines and stuff down here in the fur. That's what I'm kind of drawing in. Little something that I left off. Not fur, feathers. You guys know what I mean. And then as you get further away from like the facial area, which is really what it's all about, you know, you can get a little more abstract with your marks, blend them out a little bit. But yeah, I think we're getting close to being done with this for now, I guess. I don't know, maybe I'll tinker with it a little bit off camera, but I think I'm pretty happy with it. I like those legs. Those legs are. I was a little concerned about those legs at first, but I think they'll work out. But yeah, so like there's really no reason why you can't just like go all in on like mixed media. Now I can further like create. I don't know. Let me go ahead and do that. Why not, right? Let me kind of work in some rocks down here. Not too worried about what these rocks look like. Rocks are rocks. Come in all shapes and sizes. Just kind of put these in here as a kind of like a perch for this guy to be standing on. Anyway, you can get more creative with like the rocks and what I'm doing here, but it's just something I'm adding. The eyes are awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, you know, like if obviously if you're gonna do an owl, like if you're gonna even bother, you gotta do the eyes right. Like if you're not gonna get the eyes right, there's no point in doing it. Anyway, I'm gonna worry about this kind of stuff down here a little bit more later, but for now, I think these are gonna be fine. All right, so I think it looks pretty good. There might be some areas that I might want to touch up a little bit later, but I think this is fine. I do love owls. I love drawing owls. I've done a couple of them so far. They're always fun. They're always interesting creatures. You know, if you're going to be, that's another thing. If you're going to be like a wildlife animal, like a wildlife artist, doing animals and stuff, at some point you're going to draw an owl. And there's a bunch of different mediums that you can use and stuff. This seems to work really well for them. I think he's looking pretty good. So again, the goal was to kind of like mimic the art style of this horse I did recently, and I think you know, sorry, so side by side, they do look very similar. They look very similar in style. They look like they're done by the same artist. Those are all the things that you know I was shooting for. So I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with how the owl turned out. You know, I might do some touch ups here and there, although I'm not 100% sure what those would look like. You guys mentioned the eyes. Every time you guys mention something, I go back to it and I like, oh man, I need to fix some of those things. So like, the eyes aren't perfectly round, so I want to address that. There is like a bit of a white line kind of comes through here. So again, you can mix pastels with colored pencils, and I'm going to do that really quick. All of these, yeah, I should probably just say that. All of these mediums, it is a mixed medium picture, but all these mediums work really well. So you have the watercolor doing the watercolor thing. You have the pastels doing the pastel thing. Um, and then you have, you know, you have your colored pencil, which is wax on top of all of that. Works perfectly fine. If you're really concerned about it and you want the wax to really work well over everything else, you can apply some fixant to this, and then everything else is locked in, and then you can kind of come back with the colored pencils a little bit better. So like if you're into like hyper realism and stuff like that, you can come back with colored pencils and really get those details in there. I'm not bothering with it myself, but if that's your thing, that's what you want to do, you can do that. All those tools are available to you. But yeah, I think this is there are some things that I think I'm going to address and stuff as I kind of like think about it some more. Like there are some darker areas through here, so I might tinker with that. But anyway, I think this is good enough for now. You know, I kind of want to keep it around the hour 30 minutes mark. So yeah, his name is Ben Wise. I love it. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed hanging out with me. Again, I really like this style. I like the combination. I'm probably going to clean up some of this stuff down here. I'm going to clean up some of this stuff down here while I'm talking to you. I do like this style. I'm enjoying using these tools together. So expect more of that in the future. I don't know what other subjects I'm going to do. Like tonight, I just kind of thought an owl might look cool. But yeah, expect more of this in the future. Hopefully you guys love this stuff. If you don't, then I don't know what to tell you because I'm going to keep doing it. Yeah, so yeah, you can kind of blend in some rocks. I'm going to work on those rocks. Anyway, thanks, Jeremy. It's a good piece. Don't burn it. Yeah, so like, yeah, you know, like sometimes when I don't like something, I do burn them. So I'm going to have a big bonfire of like pictures that I didn't really work out that well in the past. But nah, this one's a keeper. I think it looks cool. Probably not my best work and stuff, but I like this style. I like these mediums working well together. So I'm gonna do more of these in the future. So it's been a hoot. All right, that's a great place to end it. All right, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Tuesday night. I will probably be back on Thursday. I don't know what else we're going to do, but I think it'll probably be something like in this style. It's the kind of style I want to focus on for right now, just to kind of see where it goes. Like I said, the first two pictures I've done with this style, I'm pretty happy with. So let's see where we can go with it. It'll be fun. Unless you guys have some suggestions. If you do, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Like sometimes I don't get a lot of comments. Like you guys are really super chatty in here, which I think is awesome. But I don't get like a lot of comments below. If you ever do have a suggestion or you have a request or you have something you want me to tackle, drop it below. It'd be perfect. Now, I will read it. I read all my comments and stuff. So, you know, we'll see then. We'll see what comes of it then. But anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I will see you Thursday. Have a good one. Got to put the dogs out. All right. Bye. Thanks.